In our next assignment is related to the PHP, AJAX and MySQL. In a previous assignment, we will understand how exact the PHP and MySQL work to delete, update and modify data into the particular database into the from the table. Now we will understand that one is same thing with the AJAX. The problem statement is design and develop the dynamic web application using PHP, AJAX and MySQL as a backend for employee data with the insert and view operations. Means we insert the employee data and we will display it. That is the two operation we need to understand with this code. Then it contains a first file. That one is a config.php. It's simply the config.php, which one is execute the database connectivity. That one is database name, database. That one is a local host. Database name is employee, DB user is a root, and password is nil. Then the connection procedure. That one is con object is equal to mysql I underscore connect. We pass these four values to that, and it's automatically connect to the particular database. Then first, that one is index.php. It contains simply the title script, which one is include the jQuery, that is jQuery.js to execute the JavaScript process. Then we already understand that AJAX is again a part of a jQuery, right? Then it contains simply the heading that employee details contains a form. That one is simply method is a post, and we call the insert.php when we submit the button on the particular form, right? The form is look like this. This is localhost, that 7 is a folder name, and it contains a index.php. When we run it, it shows the index.php shows the simply the enter the one form. It contains enter the name of employee, enter the age of employee, and enter the city of employee. Then it's simply the one more option, that one is display link. Okay, we will understand the code under the index. That one is simply it's now form contains a name, age, city, and one button. That one is a name as a save data. Whenever we click on the save data button, it's automatically execute the action, and it calls the insert.php. When it comes with the insert.php, it actually calls this code. We will understand how exact this script is called, or why this script is called. In before that, we will simply the understand that is end with the form. Then it's simply the paragraph prints one information, that is a result information. We will understand later how exact this result, or it may be the how the result comes from which from with the help of which action. Then is the paragraph. That one is simply the again the prints a result. Then we will actual there is no need to a repetition of this two. Home, back, then home. We will comment it, or we can delete it. It's simply the save. Okay, then it's simply the we give the one link on a page. That one is display.php. When we click on that link, it access this display.php. okay, then this is actual the script code, which one is actual when we click on the save data, it's automatically call this script. Why? We will understand some theory related to that side by side when we understand the code. Then when we click on, or when we enter the information here, that one is the age is again the city is Mumbai, and we click on save. It's simply the save the data without refreshing the page, right? And it's directly shows the information as a alert message as a data inserted successfully. We will understand the previous code as a PHP and MySQL. It's a run with the AJAX. We will understand what exact the difference between the assignment number 6 and assignment number 7. is a local host, and the index.php its content under the folder number 6. Okay, access with the index.php of a folder number 6. When we click on insert, we will put here the some information. That one is 3, then dt, then salary is 25. When we click on insert, it's refresh the page and it's reload the page and show the particular message. But under this page, when we store the information, we will refresh it. Okay, when we insert the information, like we select again the different record, and when we click on a save data, this page is not refreshed because of the AJAX. It's only insert the data in a database and it shows the this message on a same page. This page is not reloaded. Like this page is reloaded and it shows the message that's a data saved successfully. This is actually the difference between the normal PHP and MySQL, and this is with the AJAX. Then how exact it execute, we will understand. We already know the AJAX is used to send the information, or it may be send the request to a server, and server replies to the particular client without refreshing that browser page. We already understand that one is a synchronized process between the client and server. Okay, and then we will understand the code exact how it execute. Then simply the insert, when we click on a save data, it calls the insert.php. Then it's actual not directly goes to the insert.php, it actual the come with a particular code. That one is a script code. It's automatically call this script code, and then whenever you create, when click on the save data, means its action is created, it's automatically call this function is a dot submit function. Means when you click on a save data, means it's a submitting process, and under the particular process, this scripting process, this is a one function is a dot submit function. Whenever click on the particular button for submitting something, it calls this scripting function. Okay, it not goes directly to the insert.php. Then it's called this, we will understand the theory about that. That one is $form dot submit function e jQuery submit. jQuery submit event is sent to the element when the user attempt to submit a form. Means a particular submit event calls when we submit a form. This event is only attached to the form. It's only executed with the form when we click on the submit. Then it's simply the $selector. It's a format syntax. It's selector. Now selector is a form. Then dot submit is a method. And we also call the pass the one function, call the one function under the submit method. This is actually the one submit method under the JavaScript. Then it's simply the submit method with the calling with the form as a selector. Then this is the form. When we click on a submit, it automatically call this submit method. Then e dot prevent default, it actually the theory behind the e dot prevent default. It's simply the process which one is actually execute the some data. Okay, it's a definition and usage. Event dot prevent default method stops the default action. Means what exact this method do when we click on a submit. Means after clicking on a submit, it's automatically call the particular insert.php, and it's execute that process to insert the data in. But after clicking on submit, it's not call that process, which one is a by default process. After submitting, it calls something. With the help of this function, we stop the default action of a particular process. Means when we click on a submit, it executes something, but we prevent it with the help of this prevent default. Okay, that is actually the use of this function. Then this is a preventing, then this is actual the AJAX method, that means a dot post. Okay, then we will understand the theory about the AJAX method also, how exact it works. This is a jQuery AJAX method, $.post. Okay, then AJAX is the art of exchanging data with the server and update the part of a web page without reloading the whole page. This is actually the concept. Definition of usage, that one is a $.post method load the data from server using HTTP post under the as a AJAX method. Okay, it's have a syntax like a dollar in bracket selector, then dot post is a method. We will understand how exact this post method is run, and we will also understand the code which one is actually we used. This is actual the code which is available under the our file. This is actual the code, simply the this one is the code. I will explain you how exact this code is run. Then this is simply the $.post, then this is a one parameter that is called the insert.php, then this is the data, and this is actual the one function which one is execute, and means particular .post method or function contains a three value, that is the insert.php, then information about name, age and city, and then it execute one function. Means $.post contain the three values. We will understand here the basic theory about the .post. This is actually the URL, means the file name, then data, and then function. Okay, then data type, that one is the optional. URL, it's required specify URL to send the request to, means that one is a file name. Data, which one is we want to send to the server along with the request. Okay, then function, that one is optional. If you mention as a function, it's received with the this parameter, that one is data, status, request, error, right? Then we send a one request and it reply with the success, not modified, timeout, error, parse error. Okay, this request, that one is inbuilt process under the code. That one is simply when we call the function, that one is we pass the result, right? Then it receives the information from insert.php as a written value which one is stored in a result, and it verifies here. This is actual the dot post content, and this is a file which one is we need to call to insert the data. Then we send this information to the server, and then server replies with the result, and then it executes this code. This is actual the process. Then we will understand how exact it works. We will see this is simply the form. When we click on a save data, it's mentioned as a data inserted successfully. How exact this message print? Then it calls the insert.php, it sends this name, age and city, which one is we want to insert. Then it go to the insert.php, then it's calls the include config.php, that one is a database connectivity. Config.php is a database connectivity is done, then it is successfully. Then it call, that one is a result is equal to it process one query, that one is a connection comma insert into users name, age, city, and the values, which one is a particular index.php sends to the insert.php, that one is a name, age and city, which one is we mention here, and we want to store in the database. Then when that this query is executed, particular echo comes with a success, means this particular result contains a success value, because of whenever the particular code executed successfully, the result parameter, result variable contains this value, that is a success. When it again calls the index dot under the index dot php with this function, that is a function and result variable contains a success, then if result is equal to success, it prints a one message, that is data inserted successfully. Then what exact this .html? This is simply the one method under the particular process. We will understand what exact the method .html method. Simply the jQuery method, jQuery HTML method is used to change the entire content of selected element. It replaces the selected element content with a new content. What exact it reflect means, when we pass this result value to this HTML method, then it prints this data under the particular tag. Then what exact this where is exact this result is? This result, that one is comes under this paragraph, that is a p tag. Then whenever we pass run this .html method, it passes this data inserted successfully with the help of this result, and it prints here under the paragraph. This is actually the use of .html method under the jQuery. This is actually the process, and it prints a data inserted successfully with the AJAX, that $.post method, without refreshing the page. Okay, this is simply the code. And when we click on a display, it simply it calls when we click on a display href link, it's called the display.php. It's a display.php. It's simply the code. We include the config.php for database connectivity. Then it's simply the that one is the result mysql I underscore query $con, then select star from users ordered by id in a decreasing order. That one is id, which one is inbuilt process, inbuilt parameter. We will see the database also. That one is by default we mention id as a by default in column. That one is simply it's called href. Why this mention as index.php here? Add new data. Whenever you click on the again add new data, it comes from again the index.php. That's why this code is only a shifting to the index.php. Then this is simply the when we display the data, it shows one table with a name, age, city, right? And it calls data from it's this result variable contains all information which one is stored under the table with the help of select star from users. All data copy into the all rows copy into the result parameter, result variable. Then we will print it with a while loop. That one is a res. We can say that that one is an array, and we print it up to the last row with the name, age, and city. This is simply the while loop to print the all record, and this one is simply the table creation process under the HTML. When we click on the display, it simply shows this table and the all record of a particular from the database. That one is from the table of users. Okay, this is simply the process of index.php calls the insert.php with the help of the AJAX. That one is a $.post method under the AJAX, and it's inserted the data, and it prints a particular message without refreshing the page. That is actually the concept of AJAX. Now we will see the table. That one is an employee database. Okay, that one is a table name is a emp. Table name is a emp. Okay, sorry, database name is a emp, and table name is a users. Okay, that one is simply the table name is a users, and it contains id, name, age, and city, right? Then we will see the record. We already inserted some information in the table. That one is this is the information. Name, age, city. We store this name, age, city, and ID. That one is a by default column under the table. If you check out the column, that is ID, that is auto incremented, mentioned as a attribute as auto incremented. It's auto incremented. That's why there is no need to add give the value from user side. It's automatically increment the that values. This is simply the code of PHP MySQL with AJAX to store the data and display the data. Okay.